Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. All right, guys. Tuesday. Still, I think, a quiet summer week. But let's see what's going out there on the market. Check out the charts here real quick. So we got the treasuries. Well, the treasury was actually really interesting yesterday because it did not really move much at all during our session. And then for no apparent reason, it just like really started taking a nosedive, you know, after about 9 o'clock my time. So now they've recovered most of that in the overnight action. S&P 500 taking a little bit of a hit early on, but in the end recovering and looking a little bit higher in the overnight session. Oil still pointed down after losing some of those support levels around, 79.5. Gold and silver, well, maybe trying to turn things around over in gold and silver. Copper still looking bad. China actually cut rates, by the way. So things don't necessarily look very good in China. Japanese yen, maybe looking a little on the upside, and we are slightly higher in the dollar. Bitcoin holding those gains from yesterday. Remember that it is anticipated that Ethereum ETFs come out this week. So then we should also check on CrowdStrike, because that is the name of the moment. They took a pretty good hit yesterday. It's kind of funny going back and looking at it, because we were looking at this and being like, okay, and then we had this, but there was a recovery and they ended towards the bottom of the range. So they are pointed a little bit higher in the overnight session, but it does kind of look like it's a slow bleed over in CrowdStrike. And I think that's basically all we got. I never saw, I wonder, I'm going to go back here and search around a little bit, because I never was able to find anything to explain why the treasuries just really, really fell after we were done trading. Wow. I don't think I can look anymore. I don't know if I read market synopsis yesterday, because I just don't remember. Let me try a different browser here. There we go. Yeah, see, Zero Hedge was not sure what the cause of all of that was either. They felt that they were seeing some of the Trump trades unwind a little bit, but then that wouldn't make sense why treasuries would be lower, right? So, oh, what happened here with my my camera is like way off. Well, anyways, good morning, Namrus, Jake, and Uzi. I don't know. I kind of feel like yesterday I did enough political speak for like a whole year. And I don't know if there's really anything else to go into on that front. But I'm not really sure if anything else is really going today. The Treasury looks like in a spot where we should be careful. It's going to go back and forth. Well, I think we could return to this backtest that we were messing with last week. How about that? Which one was it that I was doing? No, that doesn't make sense. Unless I got rid of them. Is it really this one? Hold on. I want to make sure that I'm looking at the right thing. Is Joe alive? You know what? Okay, so what Brad is talking about is that there have been some reports, I would say late afternoon yesterday, that where Joe, I forget where it was that Joe Biden was at, but that there was a request to clear the streets so that they could get to the hospital. But then that request was canceled and Air Force One flew somewhere else. And very quickly, by the way. And so there is suggestion that they had a medical emergency and have been able to keep it under wraps. If that is the case, I don't think they'll be able to keep it under wraps for very long. So, I'm kind of still in that mode, like, I don't really need to say anything. You know what I mean? Like, when I go on Reddit, everybody's like super triggered. I'm seeing a lot of people that are like super triggered because there is so much political content on Reddit right now. There is really a major push to shift narrative over there on Reddit in particular. And, I think conservatives have kind of seen this game before and are a little bit concerned, but I personally feel that people kind of see the game here and that it's not really going to affect them. That it's not really going to change much for people. So, okay, it was this Fourier trend thing. Interestingly, I do not see any of that in my pinned. That's super weird. Well, first thing is I'm going to remove all non-pinned for fun. Oh. Well, that's not bad. I don't know about y'all, but this whole thing makes me think having a president isn't all that necessary. Well, I think that most of the time having a president is not all that necessary, but when you need one, you're really going to need one. And I am super concerned about, so one of the things that I would point out about this whole is he still alive thing is that it was really independent journalists on Twitter that have discovered all of this, and you're not seeing the mainstream news outlets say anything, and they would. I mean, like, mainstream news outlets there's like a whole press gaggle that follows the president around and all of these sorts of things. Like, if something like that happened, there would be people at the news networks that would say something. So why are you not hearing anything? Well, my bet is that it's considered a national security risk to talk about it right now. So that's probably, because if that is what's going on, it wouldn't be very good if China or Russia all of a sudden decided to do something crazy, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm surprised, because when we were running this the other day, we were kind of like, I don't know about this. But I'm getting some pretty good. Now, am I using targets? I'm not. I'm not using targets. So that's probably why. Oh yeah, save history. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I could have used stops. I should make it so that use stops and use targets are separate. Because we like that on the MFEs, but we don't like that on the MAEs, right? That's no good. I can just cut it off right there, and that's some huge losses that we can just take out. Well, it's pretty established fact that a lot of cable news is packed to the brim with X-spooks. Wait, X-spooks? Was that what we're calling? Is that what we're calling former security state individuals now? Good grief. That's what we've always called them. Okay. I didn't know. I thought spooks was a term that was meant a lot of different things. Okay. So I'm going to set it to 75. Use stops, but not use targets. I will make sure that I still have, what is the, let's see here, where is it? Reward factors 1.5. I'll just make that 1, but that shouldn't change anything. Da-da-da-da. Perfect. Oh, I'm a little bit surprised that actually reduced profits considerably. We are still getting the favorables. Interesting. Took us from 24 to 15. Using stops? What if we use targets? Way worse. Yeah. It's probably, that actually doesn't surprise me. Wait, what was the... I don't have it showing here. Like when we're only talking about like 200 trades. It's been used as a racial slur too. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's... So that reminds me of something that happened yesterday was well, actually I think I can show you. Yeah, let's put that aside for a second. Let's see here. It was Behind the Gurus or something like that. What is the Decoding the Gurus? That's right. Decoding the Gurus. Yes. So, there's this podcast with Australian psychologist Matthew Brown. I've never watched it or heard it or anything like that, but it seems to pop up on my feed all the time. Oh yeah, Jordan Peterson and Elon Musk. So like, I never understood what was going on this subreddit. I was always kind of like, okay, so this is just supposed to be like, here's a guru person, and then let's investigate them and see what's going on. Like what is this a subreddit about? And I would see threads and from time to time in conversations that didn't necessarily make sense to me. I was like, I don't understand why people are reacting the way that they are. And then I saw this, and at first I was really like, what? Like, huh? Okay. But then as I started to read, like, all of a sudden, it dawned on me. What's going on? So what is this? There's a guy named Lex Friedman. You probably heard of him. He has a podcast, and he has interviewed a lot of different famous people, particularly about, like, technical things, because he was a programmer. For instance, I think Lex Friedman's best one is interviewing John Carmack, who wrote Quake. Okay. So Lex Friedman says, there needs to be a transparent democratic process for selecting the nominee to replace Biden. Anointing Kamala Harris secretly behind the scenes is not it. Well, you know what? That's a pretty common feeling out there right now. I was actually really surprised to see how many people were saying this, that we don't want Kamala. We would have chosen something different if we had been given the opportunity to. If Biden had dropped out and we had a real primary, it wouldn't be Kamala, and we don't like this. And it's absolutely right. I mean, there is a process that they went through, but it was kind of like, well, they didn't really allow there to be a real primary. They kind of knee cut anybody that was going to run against Joe Biden anyways, and have debates, for instance. And Kamala is just the VP pick, and it's basically like, if Joe Biden drops out, then the VP pick becomes the president pick. And that's what's happening right now, right? And there is an opportunity, potentially, to change that. You could have an abbreviated process. You could have some sort of real quick primary sort of a thing. You would have to change Democrat National Convention rules, but like they have the ability to do that. There was this conversation, there were people saying like, like it can't happen. No. I think it's unlikely to happen, but it can happen. All you have to do, like you get to convention, is have Barack Obama get up at the very beginning and say, I move that we suspend the rules and then change the rules. They could do it. It could happen. And if Barack Obama did it, it would happen. Okay. That's why some people are like speculating that like, like Kamala has to do really well or Obama's going to replace her too. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Would be really hard, but it's possible. Okay. So there's kind of that argument going along, but I really don't feel that what Lex Friedman is saying is all that unfair. Okay. A lot of people feel like this right now. You can go and you read the comments and they're like, absolute hack. So they're mad that Lex Friedman has had conservative people on his podcast, that he presents himself as a centrist. They don't believe that he has, because like they don't say anything. He doesn't say similar things about Donald Trump and the GOP. Well, I really don't think it's comparable, but whatever. You just read through the comments. It really seems unhinged. He's definitely not trying to place his thumb on the scales. Another guy whose centrism is just Republican talking points without official endorsement. So I'm kind of reading this like, why would this podcast about, quote, decoding the gurus, why would all of these people care so much about these political narratives and how centrist or right wing Lex Friedman is? I don't quite get it, right? Here's another one. Destiny calls out Lex Friedman. So then here's Lex tweets that, and Destiny says, me desperately searching for Lex requests for Trump to publish his tax returns, openly testify about his actions before Congress like Hillary did, or his criticisms for Trump dodging Nikki Haley in every single debate request. Right? It's like, well, I don't know that. I kind of do wish that Trump had done debates with the other Republicans, but whatever. I understand why it didn't happen. He does not have to be forced to do debates, right? Lex just kind of said, well, I feel sorry that you felt the need to... Destiny's being like a total asshole in this thread, really. Really, he's being a total asshole. And then I go and I read the comments, and I'm like, I criticize both sides. The fuck you do? Like, they're super pissed about it. They don't like Lex at all. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is this? What actually is this podcast? And then it hit me. Gurus are unauthorized experts. That's what it is. That's decoding the gurus. These are people, they are self-professed experts in a field. They did not come to become experts in the traditional way. They are not a government expert. They are not an expert from a government-approved channel. And they're not an expert on the major news networks. And that's what makes them, that's why they're called gurus. And this podcast is taking down these gurus, is basically about how conservative people don't trust a lot of the experts that, through their traditional channels, and are turning to alternative channels for their information. That's what this is really about. And particularly when it comes to things like health, because listen, after the whole food pyramid thing, I don't see why anybody would trust the government for general health advice like your diet and stuff. But now it's all in perspective. Like, am I a guru? By their definition of a guru, I think I am, because I am an unauthorized expert. I base everything that I say off of real research, but I'm not on CNBC. I'm not an economic advisor to the president. So I think that by what they think, that they would call me a guru. Now it all makes sense. It's been like right there in front of my face this whole time, but like, like we've kind of seen it, like we've kind of like talked about it, but like I've never really zeroed in on the exact, like, what is the kind of the model, what is the things in their neural network that is leading these people to come to certain conclusions about certain things and hating certain people and all of that. It's because they're an unauthorized expert. So that's what you reminded me of there. With the whole cable news is stacked to the brim with X spooks. This is like, there's certain people that are considered like legitimate news sources by the mainstream media. And it's like you went to school for journalism, and there's a certain kind of like system that you have to climb up through the ladder, pay your dues and all of that sort of a thing. And some people, they come into that from being in government or being in the intelligence agencies and then switching over to being media personalities. And these other people that are out there on Twitter chasing the information down and finding real information for us are illegitimate sources of information, and they hate that. Anyways, I thought you were going to make a bunch of comments about that, but I guess not. So I'll just move on. What was I doing? I think that I was... Okay. Oh, you're talking to your wife about the dog? Oh, I hope it's okay. How bad is... this is going to be one of those things where it's like you end up spending like $20,000 on a dog, huh? And then they still die. Ugh. That stuff. They took a big chunk of his butt. What? No way. He already cost $1,200. His tumor is getting biopsied. If it turns out he has cancer, I'm just going to let him live his life out. That's the way. Sorry, Goku, the dog. But when your patella is like completely destroyed and you have all sorts of other damage, you're going to die. I'm just going to let you die. I don't think that it's worth it to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a dog. That's what I do for myself. For myself, I'm a fight the whole way, but maybe not like spend tons of money doing it either. Okay, so that's what I would expect to see. We're gonna keep that one. Hold on. And keep that one. Okay, and the analysis here. Interesting. The mid band being adaptive liqueur is really kind of bizarre. Probably shouldn't do that. But what we wanted to see is if we take these off again. You think differently when your self-pay and health insurance would cost you the equivalent of 2 mortgage payments a month. Oof. Oof. Oh, wow. It's actually, I've actually found a strategy that over a 5-year time period was profitable. The Sharpe ratio is absolutely terrible, but it was profitable over 2 years. And I've still got a little bit of work, a little bit to go here too. This, I do think that this is a strategy that is worthwhile. This is like the one technical indicator I found that there seems like there is something to it. It's still, with the stops, less profitable. So that's really super weird to me. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Use it that way. Now, if I go to the chart, it's not adding these on, is it? No, it's not. Ugh. Ugh. There's some things about this that I don't like. Already. Like those, that trade right there seems like really dumb. Okay. Here it is. Where is it? Okay. Okay, well, don't worry about that for the moment. And chart indicator, my Fourier. My R2. Trend. Why are these three things in the real-time section? That makes no sense. You should be over here. I'm gonna just try that real quick. So if I go to this and then I go back to the Fourier trend one, does it have use last limits checked? It does. Last limit 1000, streak limit 8. Don't use stops and targets. Sure. Sure. So that should give me, well, I have to, yes, 5 years. Should be giving me pretty similar result though. Okay, better. Okay, so this is where this thing right here, like this mid-band, slow. Slow is 50. Let's just change it to a simple moving average. Oh, wow. That really hurt the profit. Okay. And I want this period to be way bigger, like 120. Now this Fourier series analysis, this is way too fast. Like, this is just noise right there. Interesting that changing that parameter didn't really change the... Oh, no, wait. Period. What does it use for period? I don't think that period actually gets used. That's funny. We wanted slow. Oh, and the stops are 75. Not that we're using the stops, but where is it getting that volatility? Apparently, it's a part of the... Except for that I'm not actually using that either. Okay. Wow, that's even worse. Okay, fast. If I make the fast really, really big too. Because that's just a little bit too back and forthy, right? It did have a pretty decent move up off of the open in the treasuries. So I can see going long. Come on, why are you taking so long? Better. Much less. Oh, actually, more trades. More trades, huh? Okay. And when I look at this, let's see, give me this. Yeah, there we go. 32. Negative 27. Wave plot and rock plot. Wait, so what is the main data series? There's a wave plot and a rock plot. It must be the wave plot. I guess so. Fundamental cycle period. All right. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so what it's saying to me is that this threshold should actually be something like way different, like 12. That's a little interesting. I didn't expect... I thought that indicator that, you know, it's between like -4 and +4, and I didn't think that changing the period would change that, but changing the period actually makes it oscillate over a much wider range, right? So like the 12 was too much. Okay, but when I come in here, okay, I think you could say that the moving average is falling. And let's see here, the R squared has to be under the threshold. Okay, so not strong trend. Oh, the R2 threshold is actually really high, so it's only like eliminating like a very, very, very small amount of trades. But that looks correct to me. The Sharpe ratio is terrible, of course. So this is where we want to do our optimization. Cannot like, use save history false, use loss limits, true, use stops, I'm gonna say false, fast. We had both of these to 120, right? 120. Okay, in this FT threshold, this is where I'm gonna say, let's go from negative 15 to 15. Oops, it didn't give me my negative. Come on. Negative. Increment by 1. Make the midband an SMA. Slow 120. 120. Stops, we weren't using stops. Okay. And I don't want to go for max profit factor. I want to go for max net profit. So that should do like what, 30 runs? Yep. I never saw how you could make R square work on time frames lower than a day. It seems way too slow. Oh, really? No, normally I'm using an R squared of like 50. Maybe I should be introducing a second, I should be renaming some variables and adding some other variables in here so that I have a little bit of flexibility, but yeah, the setups that I had used where R squared was working, it was more like on a 1 minute chart with an R squared period of 50. And essentially what it allows you to do is filter your algorithm to only running when there's trend or not trend. It allows you to filter trend. So only take a trade when there's already a lot of trend, for instance, or only take a trade when there's not a lot of trend. In this particular case, we want to filter out the most trendy periods because we're looking for mean reversion. We're looking for like a market that's oscillating back and forth. So we don't want to, we don't really want to take trades when it's really trendy. I don't know. I think I might want to change that down to like 70. Like theoretically changing it down to 70 should be more effective, but maybe when I was backtesting it, it didn't matter. I don't know. Well, despite that initial move up on the open, it does look like it's another super quiet summer day. last few are taking an awfully long time to run. Am I using up a ton of memory or something? Well, I told it to not save the data, so... Well, it is using 16 gigabytes. Oh, maybe I didn't tell it to save data. Maybe I left that on. Save history false. I don't know. Interesting that they so many of them came out with results. Not that the probability on those long trades is super great. That means that I should be able to read this, right? No, maybe not. Okay, but what were the parameters that it was using? It was using an FT threshold of 3. Wow. That's not what I expect at all. Open a new tab. Come on. So what this thing is doing is it made a ton of money during COVID. That's what happened there. That's interesting. So that's where there is a volatility ceiling thing in there, and I don't understand why it's not being used. So let's add it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. State figure and data series. Bars period type dot day comma 1 day data series, and then we can say ATR volatility, and then say volatility equals ATR ATR period. Okay, now I'm gonna do a bit of the I'm not gonna have fast and slow and all that. Let's get rid of that. Let's change this to Fourier period. Trend period. ATR period. Let's actually, should it be called trend period because there's also the R2 period? Let's just say moving average period and R2 period, like that. Okay, so now we got 4 periods that we can mess with. R2 period. Moving average period. ATR period. Does that compile? Or did we miss one? Missed one. Oh, yes, because we should say well, let's start with a 4-year period of 30. R2 period equals 50. ATR period equals 14. And moving average period equals 120. Okay. And then what was I? Oh, we need to come in here and we need to add this whole thing. That's like, actually for this, I need a chart. I need to make a new chart. Actually, no, I don't need to make a new chart. I already have a chart. ES. When the ATR. Oh, actually, you know what? I should be using my multi-ATR. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Gotta find the name of this thing. Oh, actually, no, I know what it is. It's gonna be SPS multi-ATR. ATR period, comma. Oh, I need to make a change. This right here needs to be range type. It needs to be a property. Ninja script property. Because on this chart, I'm using percentage, aren't I? Yeah, percent, which is what we want. range type dot percent. Okay, so coming back to this, we don't want to trade when that ATR, when we're on average moving more than 2%, probably, right? Oh, so we need to have, there is a volatility ceiling. So we're going to set that volatility ceiling to be 2. And then volatility of 0 is less than volatility ceiling. Okay. And I just had another thought about something that I wanted to change. No, don't see, can't think of what it would be now. Save history false. Okay, let's change this and optimize on Sharpe ratio. Not that it won't make too much of a difference. And in these things, oh, I still have period, but R2 period. Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. This over here, this multi ATR needs to be, needs to be the second one. And what is it? Oh, I don't remember what I do here, to use the lower data series. Hold on a second. Is it bars array of 1? Well, I think it is. I think it's I think it's bars array 1, but let me double check here. Yeah, it is sparse array of 1. Okay. So if I come back here to this one and change this for your period to 120. run this. You should like just not trade during that time. Oops. We need oh geez. Oh, I do have save history on. Wait, did it just aired on me, didn't it? Yeah. Oh. Doesn't like that, huh? Oh, because it has, there's times when there's, oh, okay. If current bars of 1 is less than 14, return. Let's try that. That's funny. It finished right as the opening bell rung. Oh man, it hits its daily limit a lot. I should probably change those risk parameters. I should just turn the use loss limits off while I'm backtesting, while I'm optimizing. Aha. Oh wait, that doesn't make any sense. Now it's not taking any trades into the 2024 period. What's with that? That's super weird. Super weird. Oh wait, why is volatility ceiling over here as 200? That's funny. Shouldn't be. It should be 2. Better. See how it's just flat during that period? Because the volatility gets too high, it stops trading. But why am I not getting trades into 2024 now? What's with that? Unless the loss limits are preventing it from trading. Probably need to have the loss limit to be a lot higher than 1,000. Oh. What? Okay. I don't believe it. There's no way. Impossible. Well, it will hold positions for a long time. Look at that short right there. That is definitely like a short. But like then things switch back around and it should be getting out, right? Maybe I could add a filter in there to say when the trend changes around, you get out. Right? Like if the long-term trend is rising, I exit all shorts. You haven't a clue what you're looking at. Okay. So this is backtest results. The backtest makes $158,000 over 5 years with a Sharpe ratio of 0.43 and a percent probability of 43.26. But when I look at some of the trades, the first trade, oh, I'm on the wrong screen. I'm on the wrong screen. Okay. So here I believe it is correctly taking a trade. The R squared is below the 90 and the trend is going short and the Fourier series says to go short. But it takes it and then holds it for a really long time, essentially. So that is a loss that's like really effing huge. That makes absolutely no sense based on how we're trying to trade, essentially. Like this one, it should be getting out somewhere around here. So it would still be a loss, but it should be getting out. So, but some of this stuff is a little bit, well, it has a really huge some really big winning rates. Let's look at, okay. Not bad. Jeez. That looks pretty random to me, but I'm a little bit skeptical about that result, to be honest with you. That is too nice. That's too nice. All right, use stops. Stop. 75. Okay. Not quite what I expected. Limits our largest losing trade, though. And it reduces the drawdown considerably. But I didn't actually increase my Sharpe ratio, which I think is a little odd. I think we were doing this in currency, right? Yeah, see, when I had it at 1,000, like that was way too ridiculous. If I tick back, use loss limits, but let's set our loss limit to be 3,000. I think that should be fairly reasonable. And then also, what are these streaks? Come on. Max consecutive losers 15. Oh, that's terrible. Streak limit 8. I think there's something wrong with this though, because it's like stopping trading in 2020 for some reason. So, but let's give it another try. What? Oh, that's weird. Oh, and it does the same thing where it's like, it just like, it stops trading altogether. 2024. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Oh. Wait. Do I have all of that funky stuff in this strategy? Oh, I do. Loss limit. Current streak. Does it say if there's a streak that you stop trading altogether? Is that what this logic says? I think it is. Yeah, if current streak is less than the streak limit. So if it loses too many times in a row, it just stops trading altogether. Wait, how did I have that before? I think it was like every day it's supposed to reset that current streak. That's what I think is supposed to happen. Yeah. So, Okay, so hold on a second. Yeah. I think that this was missing some of the key logic here. Current P&L 0, current streak 0, trades direction 0. If it's the first bar of the session. That should fix it. Okay, that's a little bit better. And a little bit higher of a Sharpe ratio, in fact. And if I come over here to this analysis, okay, there's a few losers that are a little bit more than 3,000, but it does stop trading after that. And I think I will have a losing streak that's larger than, yeah, that's larger than it should, but probably the number of trades per day is probably low enough that you never come anywhere close to that streak limit. Yeah. Let's just test that. Let's say that you can't have more than 3 losers in a row on a day. Take 3 trades in a day and then stop. Okay, that changed it a little bit, but apparently it does, even that doesn't happen that often. It actually reduced the profit a little bit, but it increased the Sharpe ratio. Well, let's try it. About 2 in a row, you stop trading for the day. Do you think it will do it? If I had used stops and used targets on here, it probably would do that. But I think that what happens is it tends to stay in it. Is my guess. My guess is it's going to tend to stay in it. Actually, do I have the thing that's like, if I'm in a position state? No. It just needs a counter signal. Ah, okay, then that did it. Okay. So the strike limit at 8 is basically like never triggering, essentially. Okay, so then let's ask this question about the reward factor. Average winning trade is almost twice the average. Well, okay, let's just keep the reward factor 1.5, run that and see what it does, because that substantially increased the number of trades that it takes. You know, kind of doing all of these little things like I'm changing this, I'm changing this. Does it do what I expect? And if it doesn't, then maybe there's some problems in my logic, right? Okay. Yeah, it just kind of brings in the largest winning trade comes in substantially, and these are, some of these variables are things that I can do an optimization run to see as like, does this work better going for a big risk reward or... Okay, so going for 2 improves it. What if I go for 0.5? That should really, if I really add the risk on, I don't know what it will do to my Sharpe ratio, but I think that the total net profit will go up. Let's see. It might not. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Oof. The percent profitable is not very good. Okay, well. So back to this. Yes. 0.4. Remove non-pinned. I guess now would be a good time for that, like this volatility ceiling, or sorry, the R2 threshold. Like, let's change it to 0.6 and see how many less trades that results in. A lot less trades and a lot less of a lot worse Sharpe ratio. I'm really shocked, actually. So I don't know if the R2 period is actually doing a whole lot. Okay, so I'm gonna come back here. and make sure that I got these things. So I've got Fourier period over here is 120. R2 period is 50. ATR period 14. Moving average period 120. R2 threshold 0.9. FT thresholds 3. Volatility ceiling is 2. Stops 75. Reward factor. Oh, you know what? On this test right here. Oh, which one was it? R2 period, yeah. Oh, I have our targets turned off. I don't know. Okay, I did do it correct. Reward factor 1.5. Use loss limits true. Streak limit 8. Loss limit 3. Okay, so now let's start over to what I was trying to do in the beginning, which was this Fourier trend bit right here, and do an optimization run and optimize the news bit. Actually, let's not do that yet. False. Let's try and optimize the FT thresholds. So let's do from -5 to 5. And the Fourier period, not 3120. We'll start from 10 and we'll go to like 300, let's say, and change it by 10-minute increments. Okay. How did a 4-year period get turned into a 3120? And save history false. Oh, and then I have to select these things like the instrument and change this to 2019. Optimize Sharpe ratio. Okay. 330, that sounds about right. And hopefully my computer can hack it here. I don't know. When I look at ZB, it's kind of looking like the trend is down. But it's just not moving that much, is it? Okay, well, this is saying that this is going to take... Oh, okay, 15 minutes is not bad. 15 minutes isn't terrible. We can wait 15 minutes, right? Maybe put it on a different screen, though, yeah. So that we can still see things. Ninja Trader, stop. There we go. Okay, in the meantime, let's check around the news and see what we've missed while I was doing all that. Oh, and we should check the market. We should check CrowdStrike. Okay, CrowdStrike took a pretty heavy dive on the open, but has recovered it. Oh my, okay, so here's something interesting that I've been noticing is if I go to, let's see here, reddit.com/r/in the news, I think is another subreddit that Reddit keeps showing to me that I don't know where this comes from, but they seem pretty left wing. Donald Trump losing to Kamala Harris in 3 national polls. Meanwhile, over on Zero Hedge, Harris starts race down 9 points, even worse than Biden. Okay, well, let's read Zero Hedge's case. Okay. Democrats' enjoyment of the Kamala Harris campaign's new car smell may prove short-lived as a brand new poll shows the vice president trailing former President Trump by a whopping 11 points among likely voters, matching up even worse than President Biden, who trailed by 10 points. The Forbes-Harris survey was conducted from July 19th to the 21st. That is after the Republican convention, but before Biden was forced to withdraw from the race. Kamala Harris starts her 2024 battle behind Trump, who is enjoying a strong post-convention bump. If the polls don't start to close and show better traction for her, Biden's decision to step aside for Harris may be a case of too similar, too late. That said, Vice President Harris alleviates concerns among Democratic base and is better able to sway undecided independents and suburban women, showing some promise. Okay, so that's interesting because I don't think that that's going to hold up. The thing about Kamala Harris that really sticks out to me when I think back on her is that she is a very extreme far left politician. I lost my data on the Ninja Trader side. Well, it's probably, where's my yep, I'm using all the memory. Using all the memory. And that's even with the don't save the results. That's curious. Save history is false. I'm not using any kind of like take a replay or anything, am I? No. So why is it taking up so much memory? I maybe need to do some things here to make it so that it's not reinstantiating every time. Let's see here. Instantiate on each optimization iteration. Trying to think about what needs to be instantiated. Adding the data series Fourier. Well, see, like these things to run in state.data loaded. Oh my. You know what? I don't think this is going very well. Abort, abort. Okay. So I killed it. Is it releasing the memory? It says it is. Wait, what's using the memory up then? No, that's not right. Are you guys still with me? You still there? It looks like you're still there, even though like everything got... But why is it telling me if I'm only using... That doesn't make any sense. What is using 32 gigabytes? Sure, let's just kill Ninja Trader. Let's just kill Ninja Trader. Give me all the memory back, please. Man, I need 64 gigs of memory now, huh? Is that what the deal is? That optimization run shouldn't use that much memory. I think that I've got some sort of a memory leak going on here. You can still hear me say something in chat. I'll just double check that you're still there. Well, that's not very encouraging. Nobody said anything. Oh, okay. There, Frontier, he says all good. All right, well. I kind of feel like that wasn't too bad. Just lagged. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel like that wasn't that bad, actually. Okay, let's see. Coming back to the strategy, Fourier trend, and then is instantiated on each iteration. I see. Because I think, let's see here, Ninja Trader is instantiated each optimization iteration. Determines if a strategy should be recreated after each run. Default behavior is to reinstantiate for each optimization task run. However, the process of reinstantiating a strategy requires more time and computer resources, which could impact the amount of time. When false, the strategy is reused to save time and resources. Internal properties are reset to default values after each iteration, but it is possible that user-defined properties and other custom resources may carry their state over from the previous iteration into the new backtest run. To take advantage, developers need to reset class-level variables in the strategy, otherwise unexpected results can occur. The Ninja Trader indicators and strategies have been optimized to take advantage of performance optimizations as their resources are set up after state.configure. So theoretically it will work. False build. Let's do this again. But let's do a slightly less crazy set of initial parameters first, right? Oh, does this still say negative 320? Yeah. Oh, 4-year period is not... was 120. Increment by 10. Oh, make sure the midband is an SMA. That might have been a factor as well. Maybe it's that midband. Okay, so question. In the alligator indicators, is there a multi-moving average? I don't think that there is. And in my old machine, when I'm doing these things like mid-bands, for instance, moving averages, ultimate filters, for instance, I use the AMA multi-Bollinger. And see, I bet you, let's see here, where is it? AMA multi-Bollinger. Yeah, he's got a trillion. That's what's killing me. That's what's killing me. So...
Block by.
I'm busy taking unprofitable longs. I really don't think there's much good reason to trade right now, but anyways. Okay. Interim solution, SMA trend. Okay, so now that mid-band bit should not matter. Data series, ES, 1 minute, 2019. Four-year period, 10 to 120 by 10. Actually, 200. We'll do a bunch of runs. This should go like way faster. We should use way less memory. Okay, so it's using 2 gigs. That's like 2 gigs is reasonable. That's when it starts getting into like the 10 gigs that it's like, And it will take us some time because we're backtesting over 5 years. I was testing a strategy I asked about with iterations. My ninja slowed down a lot, but I wasn't sure if my orders are filled congruently. I'm not sure what you mean by congruently, but I'm looking for market replay data. Yeah, well, I think the best way to deal with that issue is run the strategy live against a sim account, but with live data. Then at the end of the day, do a back test on just that day. and see how different the results of your backtest are compared to the actual trades that it took. And, you know, the great thing with doing it that way is that then you get like specific examples, I guess you could say, specific examples of like where it works and doesn't work, right? So you look at it and you say, oh, this got filled here, and on live it actually didn't get filled at all, or it got filled here, right? And then you'll look at that, you'll immediately say, oh, okay, I need to specifically tell it to use a market order or something like that, right? Or, well, it got like 1 tick difference. Okay, so then I need to go into the backtester and just add that slippage factor, right? A Sharpe ratio of 0.53 is way better than I thought. 2,000 trades over 5 years is not that much, so I don't know if it completely fits my performance metrics for what I like to see in a strategy, but it made it so I think that I can come back here now and do the FT threshold thing and tell it, like, go from -5 to 5 and increment by 1. Oh, and a logging? None. $220. Okay, that's a little better. Oh, it was very different, as it didn't consider market fluctuations. I tried for a week. What do you mean by that? I mean, like, you're trying to do a back test with order flow stuff involved, though, aren't you? I vaguely remember what you were talking about. Let's see, because you were in the Ninja Script thread, right? Oh, actually, I don't recall. I don't think that was somebody else. I think that was somebody else that I'm thinking about. So that person that I was thinking about was trying to backtest like different horizontal lines or something like that. They were making something that just looked at all of just exported the lines that you'd drawn on the chart. And I was like, well, I don't know what you're trying to do, but that seems sus. Are you a hot dodge on Discord? Or are you Julian on Discord? Julian was trying to backtest something with spreads. Okay, so it's gotten up to 15K. It looks like we've still got a problem here. So we could do the Fourier series analysis, R-squared SMA, and my multi-ATR. See, it might be one of the indicators. Like my multi-ATR though. I don't think that that really picks up any instance variables. Nope, not really. So I think that one's probably safe. But the Fourier trend, that might be a problem. Yeah, it adds a bunch of variables there. So if you're backtesting using other people's indicators and stuff, just be aware. Like when you come into it and you see things like this, that's kind of a red flag, because the is instantiated on each iteration property, it will come back and it will do the bits other than configure. So the state changes that happen after configure, it will redo those. But here where it's instantiating a bunch of stuff, and it's instantiating a bunch of stuff within configure, right? So those are going to change every time, right? Kind of a problem. So to get around that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have more iterations. Try that. 56, a little bit more reasonable. Should be able to do that without using all of our memory. But since the main indicator that we're backtesting kind of has this problem, it's can't really get around it. I could add more memory. And mind you, on the previous optimization run that I did, we did find one with a Sharpe ratio as high as 0.53. So that's not bad. That's not bad. We're getting up there, but I think we're close. So I think we'll be okay. I may just kind of like, yeah, deal with the stream going all choppy, basically. Oh, your name is also Frontier on Discord? Oh, you did message me. Oh, okay. It was, let's see here. Oh, you're the stop and reverse guy. So I don't know. I don't remember what happened. Okay, so I don't remember if like you gave it to me and then I backtested it and then like I found something later and you weren't there when I found the later thing, or if you were there, whatever. But I will just share with you what I found. When I did the backtest, I looked at the reverse and I thought it was really odd that the reverse was like making so much money. And so I looked at it further and I discovered that the logic that was being used to cause it to stop and reverse was completely faulty. So I went and I changed it around to set like a flag so that like if we're going to reverse, it would enter in at the beginning of the next bar instead, and that way the backtest would be accurate. And when I did that, the strategy didn't work. Basically what was happening was the logic that says I just got out of a position, it happens interbar. It doesn't happen at the beginning or end of a bar. It can happen anytime. And so if you immediately say enter in a new position, it is going to use the open of the current bar, and when that was not likely to be what the price was at the time that it had actually stopped out. And so the whole backtest was bogus. In fact, I think I still have it. Let's see here. Strategies, stop and reverse, right? So I came in here and I said, if reverse, then I enter my buy or sell, whatever, right? And over in here, where was it? Yeah, here I say, okay, we stopped out of a trade, so set the flags to take the reverse. Does that make sense? I don't know if I gave you that version of it. Here, let me give you the current. Well, there's this older one, but let me make sure that you have the version that I did, the updated version. Basically, we were tricking the backtester. Like it would work live, like it would do what you want live, but the backtest results that we were getting were inaccurate, completely inaccurate. But this one fixed it. This one fixed that issue. So if you go and you backtest that one, backtest results should be a lot closer to the live results. So I want to know, on this optimization run, it is using a Fourier period of 120 and an FT threshold of 3. So how is that different from this one? This one is using an FT threshold of 3 and a Fourier period of 80. Okay. But it still thinks that an FT threshold of 3 is best. So that's interesting. Oh, and this one was only doing like what? Okay, so we should get rid of this part right here. We should just always do it at the 3. But change these. Except for that, I already kind of did that. I don't know, like the difference between 80 and 120, that's maybe a little bit of curve fitting, right? So let's just do this. 80, No. 80. 80. Okay. And then we iterate on this. Okay, so this will show us our best one, and then show us what happens when you don't do and don't trade during news. Yes. Yes. Okay, but the 191 one is don't trade during news. Da 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 da. Best sharp ratio. Yes. Actually, best total profit as well. Believe it or not. And this one is probably when... Oh, no, wait. What's the difference between these two? Can hold through news, can enter during news. Oh, I'm optimizing targets. What the hell? Durr. Where is it? Use stops. Use stops, use targets, false. Both false. Yeah. Oh, wait, really? So this one right here, I was using use stops, false. Okay. This is what we want to optimize. There we go. Oh. Cool. So the difference between the two here in this particular instance are actually pretty trivial. Not nearly as big as we did with the early ones. But it is better for those to be false. Shouldn't, if we have stops and we have the stop be 75, how much worse is that? Um, 177, something like that. Use stops, use targets, and make our stop go in increments of, well, let's see, how many iterations do we want to do? Let's go. Oh, let's start with 16. $64, $96, right? 96 divided by 16. Yeah. $96 increment by 16. And the target for the reward factor. .5. and 5. That would give us 160 iterations. No, that's too much because it's more than 5. So, let's just go up to 2 5.5s. Would love to have it as my programming skills in elementary. I'll try it with larger ranges, maybe less. I don't know. I mean, I basically when I saw that, I said, "Oh, this actually is terrible." like basically if you were losing, and then you tried to reverse, the reverse had absolutely no greater probability to make money than otherwise. And in fact, it was kind of like it had already kind of moved a little bit, so it wasn't actually as likely to get as much of a profit out of it. It was just when we backtested it that one time, I had inadvertently discovered a way to trick the backtester. Is it already done? Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's redo that. Sorry. No, go away, Maple. The dog thinks that because she's out, that she can come and bother me now. No, go away. Gonna pull that cage back out, dog. I'll finish that kennel soon. No, they don't scratch my window either. Go away. Go. All right, outside you go. Good grief. I feel a little bit bad about what just happened there. So, I open the thing and go to let them outside, and she's all super happy and is like trying to jump up on me and everything, and I just keep walking forward. But she like completely lost her footing and like fell over and landed sideways. Like it was a really bad. I had a really bad fall because I was walking forward. But she's okay. But like I felt a little bit bad. Derp to the max. Okay, so what I wanted to see here. Oh, what is it optimizing on? Max profit factor? I don't care about that. I want max Sharpe ratio. Probably. It looks like that they're the same. Okay, whatever. So here I can do this. I can do optimization graph. And I can say net profit. And then I can say reward factor and stop. And then we get this funky thing. And it says that having a really big stop, a 96 tick stop, is really good. And having a really high reward factor is really good. In fact, I think it's telling me that you'd make more money if you didn't use the stops and targets. Oh boy. I really like this one though. Come back to this one. Strategy Analyzer tab. Oh no. Oh, it didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. Okay. I'm gonna give it a little bit. Wait. No. Die. Da-da-da-da. Oh, Ninja Trader. It's not Ninja Trader's fault in this instance. That indicator is just terrible. I mean, if I like it so much, maybe I need to go through and do all of the work to fix it. Make my own version of it that doesn't create all those data series and stuff that gets reinstantiated. I actually think I have some idea about how to fix it. Anyways, strategy analyzer. So basically it should be, if I go to Fourier trends, do the S&P 500. I don't use stops and targets. And I make the period be 80. Oops. And we got to go back further, 2019, right? And that. And then I come in and I say, you can enter during news. Does that change anything? I think over the past year it would. But I don't think that my data goes back 5 years. Yeah. See, if I just said from 2023, versus the default, should be a little bit better. Yeah. Percent profitable. Way better. Love it. And what about the analysis? Oh, do I not have save history on? Good grief. So that's kind of about what I would expect, though. Basically, you end up taking less trades, and let's add the use stops on here. Oh, that's way worse. That's way worse. 100. Doesn't like that. So this one is not, because my news data doesn't go back that far. So back we could just say this year. What if we just looked at just this year? Okay. Oh, the Sharpe ratio was so terrible, though. Why is that? Huh. Oh. Interesting. Is that because going back to this? Have we been on the downturn in this strategy over the last year? Yes, we have. So very interesting. And then that brings me back to this like R2 threshold thing that like I should only do it like, you know, like if I filter out like half of them. That should make it better, but whoa. Hey, that did make it better. WTF. Wait. So now I go back to the 2019 one. Does that like make that one better? And I have it that it can't enter in non-news, right? I like that. It's not quite as good as that one. So it actually... But it did increase the win rate a little bit. A little bit. What if I really make it? Like it has to be below 0.3. There really can't be any trend. Worse. Okay, so going back. Should we use these two? So this one is... So these are my examples. So here you are. If you exit your positions and you can hold through the news, and then you can't hold through the news and you can't enter positions the first bit of the news, and then this is, you can't. Now I could also, so here's another good test. Move, not bend. After halt 5. Oh, that didn't change anything? Oh, because it's... No, we want those off. There we go. But look at the percent profitable. Really starts to go up. That's actually really, really interesting. This should be unfiltered. And this is news filter. So that's so interesting that well, it's maybe kind of in line with what we think, right? Is that, like, at least with this backtest, right, that, or at least this time period, okay, not trading during the news increases the chances of it working. But it doesn't make as much money. So coming back to this whole summary thing here. Ticks. Average winning trade 54, average losing trade 37. If I just set my stop to be 32 and my reward factor to be 1, and then I turn on the using stops and targets. Oof. No good. It is taking on the risk that makes it work. 1.5. One of the problems that I'm seeing here is that when it stops out of a trade, it may end up trying to enter another trade. And so maybe I should also include, I've got a bunch of stuff to do here. How much time do we got left? Oh, it's almost time for us to end. I think that's a good place to stop. So there's some stuff in the sub strategy that needs to get moved back to the master strategy. And the master strategy also needs to have an after trade sort of a thing. So, like, if you take a trade and it's a loser, you're not allowed to take another trade for X number of bars. And that would probably eliminate that problem. Because basically what I'm seeing is, like, adding stops and everything actually ends up making it take a lot more trades. And that's not actually what we want. It's basically like it ends up making it take more trades, and it ends up making it take more trades in a time period where the strategy is not working. So we should add a after trade built, wait period, or reload, refractory period, right? Is that what they call it? Yeah. A refractory period. We had fun. I think I had, even though I think that there's a little bit of curve fitting involved and such, I am really pleased to see something with a Sharpe ratio of 0.53 over 5 years. That's good. Granted, I think part of it is I'm pulling out all of the tricks, right? I've got all of the risk management strategies and so forth involved. Okay. I am just going to close this. Let's take one last look at what's going on here. So the S&P 500, a little bit of a rise, but them coming right back down to where they were off of the open. Treasuries have gone back and forth. I'd say it's a fairly narrow range, but they went across it and back, so I suppose you could have made money from it. I don't really see any major news or anything like that. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle resigns. Finally. And we did have U.S. existing home sales. That was this event right here. Right on the open, was it? Oh, no. It's the top of the hour. It's that one, right? It's that one right there. Okay. U.S. existing home sales, 3.89 million versus an expected 3.99 million. So, I don't know. The market looks like the treasuries maybe responded positively to that. That might have been part of the price. The moving up that we saw. So, who knows? But I'd say it's still pretty quiet summer day. I'm glad that we did the backtesting, had fun. And we actually, sometimes I'll get stuck into the backtesting and I don't finish the what we're doing, but I think that we pretty much accomplished what I did. Now I need to do a little bit of cleanup and then we should be good. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. I will be on the Ninja Trader stream tomorrow as well. So see you guys then. In the meantime, stay excellent, team.